Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm back for the hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 7. This is a 25-week prompt assignment challenge, and the prompts are in the bag from the beginning of the challenge, all of them. Each week I draw 2 prompts out of the bag, and the idea is to make one piece of ephemera for each prompt, so you'll have 2 pieces of ephemera. That way, at the end of 25 weeks, you will have a stack of 50 pieces of ephemera, unless you're using them along the way, and of course, that's totally up to you. So, for example, last week I drew Cracked for number 11, and I made this piece of ephemera that has cracks in the paper, and I also stamped some cracks. So that's what I did for Cracked, and then that little piece goes in there, and then in here is another piece of, this one's just the coffee dyed paper that I stamped cracks on. Again, so that was Cracked, and then 12 was wallpaper. So for wallpaper, I've used this paper back here, and yes, most of it did get covered. But, you know, that's just how it goes. I used it, so, and then there's a tag inside of this tag. So anyway, that was 11 and 12, so we're on 13 and 14. And you can interpret the prompts however you want, and use whatever you want for your base, for your prompt, all that. You don't have to do it the same way I do it. I just throw the ideas out there. 12, so 13, I drew 2, so I'm holding the other one in my hand. Number 13 is Stamp. And number 14, sorry, because I just didn't want to look at it yet, Paint Splatter. So those are easy enough. So Stamp, you can use, and I think what I meant, I usually put postage stamp, and we've already done that one. So this is more like a rubber stamp, a silicone stamp. You can stamp an object, like the bottom of your bottle makes a circle. That can be your stamp. I don't care. Number 14, the Paint Splatter, obviously. Oh, I have paint all over me. Just whatever color, however much. You could just do a few little flicks and be done, or you can make it look like snow, or whatever. Whatever, you interpret it the way you want to. I'm going to get some things together, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So the first one that we're going to do is Stamp, right? Yep, Stamp is first. So I've done this type of thing on tissue paper, but I want to do it on an envelope, and I have a box of these. I don't know what these are. Number 10, but without the window is what they are. But, you know, you can use any envelope. I don't know that I would use like junk mail envelopes that have stuff on them, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this. I don't know where that dot, it's a little sticky dot. All right, so what I'm going to do is just stamp all over this envelope, which, as I've said, we've all done these types of things either on tissue paper or regular paper or whatever. So this isn't like any grand new idea, but I think it might be kind of cool to have. You know, you could do a mass make and make a bunch of them up, and then have them whenever you want them for something else. So how's it going? How is everybody? I hope that you're all doing great. I'm doing good. Just, you know, just busy always. Getting some videos done, and you can turn it whatever way. You can have them hang off. I like to leave a little bit of space between them. I suppose you could overlap them if you wanted to, but oops, that one didn't stamp very well, but I'm not going to worry about it. Try to keep them all up here, because inevitably you get the black ink all over the place. So nice. Use this one. So yeah, just get out. I have these are Tim Holtz stamps, and then I'm just using random other stamps that I have. Let's see. I like this one. It's got a paper clip on it. I just got these. These are just cheapy ones that I got at, what do you call it? Amazon, on Amazon. Oh, I need to say hugs and blessings. Sorry, I got my list here I need to look at. I want to say hugs and blessings to Heidi, Jeanette, Lori, and Ellen. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your kind comments. I really appreciate all of you. And welcome to new subscribers, and welcome back to those of you that have been with me for a long time or a short time. I definitely know that I couldn't do this without you guys, so I appreciate it. And if you don't mind checking the like button, make sure it's working today. That would be fantastic. So yeah, this is a little bit tedious, I guess. You can fast forward if you're over it. I just kind of move around wherever. If I want to do more than one, I do more than one. If I just want one, I only do one. It doesn't really matter because it's just about sort of that total end result, not necessarily where you're putting every single stamp, right? Try one of these again. Yeah, I don't have any very exciting things to talk about today, except that it's just lovely out and I have my window open, so you may hear road noise or whatnot, who knows. Use one of these. I just kind of wanted it to be all sort of businessy or whatever, I don't know. But you could do, like I've done mushroom ones and all kinds of things in the past. So just taking that idea and doing something different with it, basically. I like this little number one. Tiny little numbers. Okay. Oh, I have this itty bitty little, these are little dots that are kind of cool for just some texture. Maybe we'll go this way. Doesn't look like they all got. Yeah, those are cute. They're so tiny. What else? What else do we want? Maybe this A little something or other. It kind of looks like a ticket of some sort. This reminds me of barcode, even though I don't know if that's what it's meant to be. It's just a stamp that has those lines, obviously. I wiggled right at the end there. That was not good. Oh, now Pasha's going to yell his head off. He's out. I have the door closed in case my husband gets home, because he's kind of loud sometimes. And Pasha's trapped out there yelling. Crazy little nutball that he is. He does that at night too. It's like, shush it, we're sleeping. Crazy cat. I heard that can be a sign of dementia in cats. I have no clue. Like, that is not my area of expertise at all, even though I've had cats forever. But he definitely does that. Yelling late at night, or, you know, like at 3 in the morning, that kind of thing. And I don't remember him doing that when he was littler. Like a little young cat. Maybe he did, and I don't know. He's not a big talker. Like, he doesn't jabber a lot. Like, I've had cats that are very talkative, but he's not really one of those. Jules was at sometimes, but... Oh, and I'm very excited for Carol Laws. I'm sure you guys have heard, but she... Hopefully, I'm not the one telling everybody, but she got a new puppy. I don't think she gets it till the end of the month, but... So we probably won't see a ton of her, because she'll be busy. It's almost like having a baby. But anyway, so I'm excited for her because she was sort of lost without her Bonnie, which I get. It's hard losing pets. So the stinkers really become part of your household life, and it's just weird when they're not there. Sorry, I'm trying to get a hold of this. Just a little like tube thing I have. So even if you don't have stamps, you can stamp something, you know what I mean? All right, that looks good. Then the next thing I want to do is I have some tea, and it's just really strong. What do you call this? Oh my goodness. Instant tea. Geez, not sweetened. Don't get the sweetened kind, because then your pages will be sticky. But just regular plain. And then I've got a pipette, and I'm just... And the harder you do it, you know, you're going to get spray, but it looks cool. So, and you just want a little in there. You don't want to overdo it, because otherwise you get like too much of a splatter all over your desk. This one's actually working better than the first time I did it. And then you can also just kind of drip it. I do like the big splats, just because they look the coolest, I think. You can just put some dots here and there, like big ones, little ones. Just know if you get them really close together, they will obviously become one big blob, which kind of happened on the first one I did. Grab a paper towel. That's how I kind of do those papers too, that you guys see me grab sometimes that have a lot of white left, but then there's the coffee dye or the tea dye or whatever the liquid is you want to use. You could probably do this with like watercolor water. I'm sure there's all kinds of things you could use. Okay, I think that's good. Then you can let it dry. And I have one dry. This is one, well, it's actually not all the way dry yet, but that's what it ends up looking like. And then you can splatter it some more. Let me move this one out of the way, and it gives you like another layer, or you can leave it like that. It's totally up to you. But I want more on there. See if I can get more of the splats. Obviously, where it's not dry, you might end up with some of it just soaking in. It's better if it's all the way dry, but for our purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and do it just to show you. Just make sure yours is 100% dry before you go and do this more, because it makes a difference. Put a few drops, and if you put them on top of the other ones, then it's just going to be darker in those spots. But see, those ones are kind of just becoming one with it. It's probably a little wet right there. Oopsie. That one was too much stuff in there. Anyways, we're going to put that one over to dry and clean up my mess. Cleaning off my stamps with the tea. Don't recommend. Clean off my punches here. But anyways, you get the idea. A lot of times I do it in like a little bin thing. That way it's not as bad. And then just lay them out to dry somewhere. But you can do that with paper. You can do it with tissue paper, envelopes, whatever the thing is that you want to do it with. So that's what I have for stamp, and we'll revisit them once they get dry. But right now they're going to dry. Okay, so the next one was, oh yeah, paint splatter. So I thought we did splatters or spatters. Maybe I'm losing it. I could have written them twice, who knows? But anyway, I have an index card. You can see this is an old like vintage one, and I'm going to collage on it. And I'm going to play around with the pieces of the playing cards like we did for that. Oh my goodness. It was I saw it in Pinterest. I don't know where I set those. I set them all aside somewhere. Anyway. So I'm going to collage on here first, and then I'm going to add some of the card pieces so that we can see what we got. I've got stamps everywhere. This is the problem with stamping that I have, is that I end up with the biggest mess. Just a magazine that I'm going to use to glue. What we're going to do this weekend. I know it's Monday for you guys, but it's Wednesday for me. So just trying to get a little bit ahead on some videos. So I can spend a little bit of time with my hubby. This is just book page that I gessoed on a long time ago. Some graph paper. Trying to decide, do I want to tear it? I think I'm just going to let it be. because a lot of it's going to get covered, so it doesn't matter. Trying to think what I did with those card bases, because I kind of thought I might use one to put into the pocket. But anyway, this can go on a page as a pocket, or you could have it as a journaling card. Up to you. I think I do want to sand that a little bit. I like when they're sanded better than when they're so shiny. Can go over them with matte medium or whatever too. Whatever. Tissue paper, all those things. And I'll probably do that to the frame one, but I don't really want to do it to all of them. Sticking to me. I'm just going to go up the side. I moved things around again though and can't find those cards. I'm actually very happy fall is here. I'm sad because I don't want summer to be over. But gosh, I just love fall and spring. I love fall the most. That's my most favorite. But it just never lasts long enough. It's supposed to be, you know, like 3 months, like seasons, you know. Crazy idea. But it never, next thing you know, it'll be freezing cold outside. Snowing. It just never lasts, and it makes me sad. Okay, so I'm going to do something with this first because I need to cover that before I can finish putting it on there. Too many things here going all at the same time. And I'm going to do the whole putting little bits and pieces on, and of course you can do this however you want to do it, but I forgot to get some stuff out to do this with. There's loads of videos on how to make playing cards look old, so I know this is also nothing new, but it's fun and it turns out pretty cool. I don't want to cover up the club there. I want some numbers. Ooh, these would be cool. I forgot to bring the sewing tissue over here, but I am going to put that over the top of this because I like the way it looks. Yeah, my husband went to lunch with his buddies that he grew up with, so that's cool. I like it when they do that. I think it's great that they still all are friends and like to hang out with each other and see how they're doing and, you know, all that. I think that's really cool. I don't do that. Well, I moved very far from where I grew up. Well, not very far, but far enough that I can't just like go over there in an afternoon or something. I grabbed some tissue paper. This is actually cicada wing paper, but it works the same. So we're going to put that over that. And yes, I'll have to cut out the center again, but it's just the way it goes. It's not hard to cut. This is back up here. Out of my way, everything. Too many things. It works better if you let it dry all the way, just FYI. Pretty much like everything, honestly. Could leave it like that and have it like a little window thing, but I'm going to put a photograph of a gentleman in there, so I don't want it on there right now, but that would be cool too. Like you could put a flower back behind there, almost like a slide, you know, a scientific slide kind of thing or whatever. A bug or a bird, whatever. Would be kind of cool. Now, if you let it dry, you can just sand all this stuff out. But I just want to get this with the picture in it. Okay, you can ink it a bit to make it look older. That's from my People of the Past digital. We're actually going to cover over it as well because I want to turn it into a pocket and I don't want anything getting caught. So I'll cover the whole thing, even though it seems silly since nobody's going to see the back of it, but it's just a good way to keep it from becoming a snagging problem. So I'm just going to use this piece of book page. Actually, do I have? Use this one instead. I'd like to use this for collaging. I mean, this too, but Okay, I like it. So I'm gonna put it here like that, but I need another something there, and I knew what it was. I'm gonna use this, which is a stamped, it's from a set of stamps I have that have like playing card things, obviously. So that is going on there. It's probably not doing a ton with paint splatter, but we will splatter at the end, as long as I remember. And then I want to just put pieces of card on there. I'm just going to cut some off. Dash to hubby. I think I'll do that. I want to sand this. I'm gonna get those corners well, because I don't want it to get snagged up with whatever's going in and out of there. And I'll do some stitching on that again, like we did with the playing cards. Do like the king, but maybe I'll put it on top of something. Like, I don't feel like I need to cover every inch, you know what I mean? I just like this idea of using these playing cards for some different stuff. I think that's fun. Somebody's yelling for their, probably dog, I don't know. Must have. Took off a running. Got a runner. Little stinkers. My dingy cat does that too. It's like, what are you thinking? Where are you going? He don't know. He just going. He doesn't know. He's just a silly. Oopsie. Can't pick those up. Oops. Got a little carried away on that one. Oh, it just looks older. It's fine. I'm going to even go over a little. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm kind of thinking I might wait to put that on until after I do the sewing part, because yeah, words, that's why. Because I want to stitch around that frame, but I don't want to close the frame off. Is that on anything? No. I could just use part of this. That's some poor cutting. I think I just want to put part of it on there. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. Can't get a hold of it. This is how you get real gross fingers. Sanding, because you get the dust, and then you get the ink and the glue, all the things stuck to your fingers. Somebody else is mowing. I just feel like it needs a little something right here. Okay, so I'm going to set this here, and I'm going to do the splattering. We're going to cover up his face. Actually, I'll use the piece of this. And we'll splatter that, and then I will sew. I've got to close all the things so that we don't end up with paint all over everywhere. I still will, but hopefully we'll have it where we want it. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use black acrylic paint. So you can get as much of this as you want, get as crazy as you want, or as little as you want. And I'm going to let it dry, sew it, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I have stitched around this one and glued this back on, or not back on, but on. And I found my cards. I think they're too thick, so I don't want to put that in there right now because I just glued it down. So I'm just going to show you that it is a pocket, so you can put something in there. I would definitely turn this into a pocket rather than a journaling card because it is a mess on the back. And I just realized I think this is too big for a journaling card. It is. It's over 6. Egg. Well, so much for that idea. I'll have to think on that. Anyway, shorten your card before you make it. Durr. Okay, for stamped, so that was paint splatters, and we did they're all dry. And stamp, these are all done. This is the one that I dripped twice on. Would have been better had I let it dry completely, but you can see, like, these are spots where it got a little bit darker than the one that we did just today. But these splatters are really cool that came out on this one. So what I would do with this is cut it to make a pocket. You could turn this part into another pocket, like flip it onto its side and have it as a tuck that way. You know, decorate it up with maybe, I'm not going to do it now because stamp is the whole thing, but you could put some pieces on there however you want to decorate it up. You know, cut it about there and it could be a pocket for a journal. So there's a lot of things you could do with these, you know, now that it's dry. I know I haven't cut it apart or anything, but yeah, this is sad days because I just realized should have cut it about like there. And I might still be able to do that because of the king and then just restitch it. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Anyway, some days, you know. So stamp and paint splatter. It's actually like this. 1314. All right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll chat again soon. Love ya. Bye.